Okay, stop. Full disclosure, I'm a hand talker. I can't help it. And I'm also a giggler. Yes, I giggle through these videos. So if that's bothersome, please go watch somebody boring and less fun and sad. I'm joking, sort of, kind of. But in all seriousness, I am just a realtor, a lowly realtor. And I'm going to share today some of the things that I do to help my clients avoid lawsuits. Now, I have never been sued before. Here's wood. Yep, you see me touching it. We want to avoid as many lawsuits as possible. So let's get into it. The first thing you should do as a seller is not even prepare your house. I'm telling you, this is so important. And that is get your disclosures done up front before you even put your house on the market. And a lot of you are like, what's she talking about? You know, my realtor tells me that we're going to do disclosures once we open escrow. And I'm telling you different. If you guys want to avoid lawsuits, you need to over disclose on your property. And a lot of you are like, oh, I don't want to disclose all the stuff because they may not buy my house. And I can promise you this, that most of buyers are very grateful when you go overboard or you over disclose. So what I also want you to do is I want you to find all receipts, okay? Like if you had a big improvement on your property, so whether it be a brand new roof, right? Whether it be, hey, I had my windows replaced, or hey, I had a general contractor come in and redo all the floors. Now, I hope you guys are saving all those receipts because when you go to sell your property, you need to show the type of investment that you made into your property, and that will help lower your taxable gain if you do and can prove that you have those receipts. So you're going to have to do it anyway. So now is the time. Before you even put your house on the market, get all the receipts, get on a piece of paper or a computer and write down everything that you can remember about the property. I'm going to tell you why. When an offer comes in on your property, you're going to hand over all of your seller disclosures, okay? You're going to hand over a home inspection if you have one. Now, if you're working with me, I try to get that done beforehand so that the buyer knows everything up front. And you're going to hand over all of the major receipts that are relevant for your property as you're negotiating with the buyer, okay? Because the last thing you want is to go under contract and then back out because something wasn't disclosed up front. Now, most of the realtors out there that you're going to be working with will open escrow and go, oh, hurry up, go sign up all of your seller disclosures. And like you're in a rush and you're trying to figure out where you're going to move to. So you're not going to spend the time that you probably need filling out these disclosures. So this is, like I said, the most important part of the whole entire video. So when you're filling out your disclosures, we want to avoid certain adjectives and we really want to focus on facts. Okay, we're not telling a story here. We're just disclosing facts. One of the worst words in real estate is the word newer. Okay, newer is bad. Don't ever use that word. In fact, never use it in the English language ever again. So you're not going to put newer roof or newer windows or newer carpet. Okay, that's bad. That's F word in real estate. No, because newer to you might mean something different to someone else. We don't want to use words like large or small or it's no big deal or we've never had an issue with this before. It happened 25 years ago. No, we just state facts, no emotional narrative in those disclosures. So if you're disclosing there's a crack on the driveway, you don't say something like, oh, it's a really small crack and we've never had any issue. It was here when we got here. No, you just say crack on driveway. That's it. Okay, facts. Keep it really simple, but disclose it. I did watch a video from a really nice seasoned agent on YouTube who actually had a horrible experience with the word newer. They wrote in their description and their disclosures, meaning the seller, that they had newer windows, but didn't disclose the age of the windows. So at the very day of closing, they're all there at the property, the buyer and the seller, which I never recommend getting the buyer and the seller together. And at that final day, they handed over, meaning the seller handed over all the receipts on the property and, the warranties for the property. And the buyer goes to look at it and saw that the windows were 8 years old. And the buyers were like, whoa, that's not newer. You didn't tell us that the windows were 8 years old. In fact, we went $10,000 reduction on the price because this wasn't disclosed properly. Now, to be fair, they're right. That was not disclosed properly to them. Now, in California, whenever there's new information that is introduced into the transaction, that buyer gets an additional 5 days to review the new material that has been produced to them. And after 5 days, if they don't want to, go forward with the transaction, they don't have to. This is why we're going to hand over our disclosures, everything that we can think about, to the buyer as soon as possible. I like to do that during the offer process. It's also important to disclose the scope of your upgrade or improvement if possible. An example of this is we had an agent in my very office who was a really good flipper. She would buy a house, resell it. She had great contractors. Well, on her disclosures on one of these properties, she wrote in there, new roof replaced 2 months ago, or whatever the time frame was, okay? She did not include an invoice or the scope of the project. So the buyer goes to purchase the house, closes, everything went smooth, and then come to find out she gets slapped with a gazillion-dollar lawsuit because the tiles on the roof were replaced, but the wood underneath the tiles were not replaced. So it was not a proper disclosure. It wasn't a brand new roof. The tiles were replaced. So if you do have some larger improvements, it's a good idea to, like I said, disclose all the details you can up front. And let me tell you, you do not want to be in a lawsuit because there are a lot of people out there that have attorneys in the family that have unlimited resources and time because they already have those attorneys available to them. They're not paying for them. So be really cautious. Okay, I'm sorry. I'm just really emotional about this because I don't want any of you to get into this situation. Please fill out your disclosures up front. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get to 50,000 subscribers by the end of the year, and I need your help. Subscribing is free. And for those of you who do not know me, my name is Audra Lambert. I'm one of the top-selling agents in Orange County, California, and I have a full-time 80-hour-a-week job. So this is a huge undertaking for me to take on YouTube. And the reason why I do it is I just really want to bless and inform the public out there. I do think that people need to know this stuff and they need to take matters into their own hands and protect themselves. A lot of you who are watching my channel are on the mature side, like myself, okay? We have life experiences, we're older, we don't like being told what to do, and we certainly don't have time for fussy stuff, okay? So all I can tell you is you can be right or you can be dead right. And during these lawsuits, you're going to be pretty much paying hundreds of thousands of dollars fighting a stupid lawsuit just because you want to be right. So that contract that you sign that you think is protecting you, no, it does not protect you, okay? A lot of us can't afford fancy attorneys. There's, I swear, more attorneys and more real estate agents out there in these families, and they can sue you at no cost to themselves because they have their own representation. So you want to cooperate. You want to avoid pitfalls. And that's what this whole entire video is about. So I'm going to talk about some fussy stuff that you guys are going to think, no way, I'm not dealing with this. But please know my intentions are not to aggravate you. Quite frankly, some of these I don't agree with, but we're doing our best to avoid conflict. So a lot of you sellers out there like to write your own property descriptions because you know the house better than the realtor. Or a lot of you, when you're filling out these disclosures, your seller disclosures, these are words that I'm going to recommend you avoid, okay? First one is family room. Can you believe it? Family room. We don't use the word family room anymore. It's called the common room. Can't make this up. So some people have families, some don't. It's a sensitive subject. So when you're filling out your disclosures, we use the word common room. Master bedroom. Nope, we don't use the word master bedroom. It's now primary bedroom. The whole master slavery kind of thing comes into play, and we don't want people to be offended, and we don't want to show that we're discriminatory. We don't use the word Jack and Jill bathroom anymore. We use the word Hollywood. Now, this is California. Some of you are going to say, no, Audra, we don't do it out here. We don't like using Jack and Jill bathroom term because it flares up gender issues. So we use the word Hollywood bathroom. Don't ask me how they came up with that. I have no idea. We don't say walking distance to downtown. There's a lot of people out there that are disabled and can't walk. We've got to be careful with that one. Another word I hate in second place is the word near. Okay, first word I hate is newer and then near. So you don't say near public schools or near freeways. You'll say, the house is located within a mile of the freeway or 2 miles of public schools, something like that. You only disclose facts. No newer, and we don't use near. We're also not going to say that the house is in a school district with top-rated schools. Top-rated schools for you might mean something different than what your buyer thinks is a top-rated school. So if you want to disclose that on this website, greatschools.com, they have these various different schools that are rated whatever they may be, but you need to explain where you got that source from, okay? We need to be specific. We disclose facts, not generalities. The common mistake I see a lot of sellers making, and even realtors out there, is they'll say, oh, it's a 4-bedroom, 3-bath. But one of those bedrooms was turned into an office, let's say, and they took the closet doors off and they created a office situation in the closet, okay? That is not considered a bedroom if it does not have a closet door. You can even write in there like, hey, it's a 4-bedroom, but you need to disclose the fact that the closet doors were taken off. So it acts as an office, but was originally a bedroom, something like that. But do not say a bedroom is a bedroom unless you disclose exactly what it is and what its original intended use was for. You have to disclose that. Ooh, don't do that. We've had a lot of lawsuits regarding square footage, boundaries, lot sizes, and permits. So as a seller, and even you realtors out there, make sure you write in that offer that it is the buyer's responsibility to verify square footage, lot size, property boundaries, and any permits. Let the buyer go down to the city and figure out if there are any permits. Now, if you're a seller and you have that information, maybe it's an old appraisal that you have on the property to verify square footage, then produce that. Or if you have some permits on the property, disclose everything you can to avoid any potential lawsuits. If you are purchasing a house and you need a mortgage or a loan on the property, the lender will not allow personal property to convey with the residence, okay? If you're all cash, you can do that, meaning that when you write an offer, you can ask for some of the furnishings and the patio furniture and all that other stuff, okay? But no matter what, whether you're cash or whether you're working with a mortgage company, you need to have a side agreement that specifies literally every single little detail of the item that is being transferred. Super important, okay? You guys got to hear me on this. So an example that occurred to me was I wrote in the contract representing the buyer that we wanted all exterior patio furniture to be included in the sale, okay? And when we close escrow, we get to the property, and this was a 3-level property. The furniture was only on the upper deck. In the other 2 levels, there was no patio furniture left. And what I failed to realize is that the agent we were working with, English wasn't her first language, and she went to the builder's diagram and saw that they designated that top level as the patio area, and then there's a balcony area, and then the bottom level was a porch or something area. So she said we only left the top level patio furniture. Now this was on me, right? Like I thought that was pretty clear. And so we had this whole English grammar lesson where I told her we asked for all exterior patio furniture, not all exterior furniture located on the patio. So went back and forth, got it all figured out. But, it got really heated. So this is my recommendation if you are including any personal items in the sale of your home. And that is, you're going to take pictures, literally, of everything to convey at the close of escrow. And you're going to write specific things. The couch located in the common room. And there are 6 pillows that go on that couch. There was another lawsuit in our company where the homeowner said, well, they asked for the couch, so we took the pillows. Okay, so you need to be that specific, like more specific, the better. You guys feeling me on this? Specifics. It's a lot of work selling a house. Okay, a lot of you hate this one, and I mentioned it in a previous video, but when I'm selling a house, I always tell my sellers, like, hey, we're not doing booties, okay? I hate booties. And if you have carpet, how about I just comp the carpet cleaning when we're done? Because we don't want the liability of any buyer coming in here, putting booties and slipping and falling and saying, hey, this was a requirement to view your house and you put me in a terrible situation. Or we're not going to ask people to take their shoes off because they're going to have the fuzzy wuzzy socks and slipped on the staircase and say, hey, that was your requirement, seller, and now I'm going to sue you, okay? Or we're not going to put the plastic liners on the carpet and someone tips over and gets their heel caught in it, and now you put that potential buyer in a bad situation. So we're not going to do that. Now, if you're a realtor or a homeowner selling your house for sale, I always take my shoes off. They usually get the hint, but please do not demand that people can't come in your house without putting those booties on, which, by the way, we want people comfortable in their houses. And if you ever go to like a model home, you'll notice they don't have any booties and, oh, take your shoes off. They don't do that because they want people comfortable, very comfortable and enjoying and taking their time in a property. When I have those booties on, I feel like a dork. I'm not comfortable and I just want to get out of the property. So for those of you who have a Ring doorbell or we'll just say camera equipment in your property that is voice recording those conversations, you need to put a sign like this up, or I recommend that you do. A lot of you are reaching out to me saying, Audra, that's not a law in our state, and I'm not doing it. No way. Okay, really? I live in California. We're all leaving, and we're coming into your city. So what are you thinking? Put this little sign up. And not even that. Like, why wouldn't you want to? Like, if you're selling your house, like, don't you want them to know, like, hey, if you're doing something bad, we got you on tape. Even if you don't have security cameras, I say put this up. I know a lot of homeowners that put like security signs in the front of their house saying, hey, this house is being watched, and they don't even have a security sign. So be wise. Let's do this. It'll protect you. There's been a lot of lawsuits about this as is clause in the purchase contract. So a lot of you sellers out there are like, I'm not cleaning my house. I'm not sweeping the floor. Phooey on that. I'm going to leave some gardening stuff in there, and I'm going to leave the trash cans full, and they can just take them out. No, we're not doing that, guys, because that as is contract is referring to the time that the seller and the buyer signed that contract. And more than likely, the house was in perfect condition. Just because you move all your furniture out and there's fuzzy wuzzies and dirty stuff and dirty trash cans, no, that is not the expectation. Lots of lawsuits around this. I know you're tired when you're moving. I know you're probably grouchy, but we clean the property, okay? We clean it out and we take the trash cans out. If not, there's a whole other, process for what a buyer can do to remedy some of the trash and some of the dirt that's on the property. And you don't want to know it. Just clean it up, hire someone. I know you want to save every penny, but this is not an area you want to skimp on. Now, a lot of sellers and a lot of realtors don't do this. I do it. You need to do it. And that is, once you move off your property and there's nothing left on the property, you as a realtor, listing agent, and you as the seller, you need to take pictures of every single room, every cabinet, everything on the side. You over-document the condition that you left the property in. Did you guys hear me on that? Like, I don't care how long it takes. I know you're tired. I know you're grouchy, but you want to show that the property is free and clear of all items. You want to show that the property is in good condition, because you don't want somebody coming after you saying, oh, this property is not in great condition. And this actually happened to me with one of my clients, where the buyer, whose buyer's agent was, I never met him, never talked to him. It was such a thing. Anyway, they contacted me after they moved into the property and said, Audra, this house is in a horrible condition. And I went through this whole thing about all this stuff. And what had happened is that she didn't take possession until months later, and the house did get dirty, and there was coyotes that jumped over the fence and crapped all over her yard. And anyway, there's a lot of other things, and the gardener wasn't there, and she thought we left the property in crappy condition. So all I did was say, hey, here's the timestamp. This is the condition that we left the property in. So I'm sorry, but the house was in dang good, perfect condition when it conveyed at escrow. I'm sorry that the house hasn't been maintained the last 2 months that you haven't been living there, but it's not on us. For you homeowners out there who either want to lease your house out or sell it, I highly recommend that you check the link down below. It is the HUD's Fair Housing link that goes over the 150 banned words that you should never use in your disclosures or in any property description. It's a good one to know. So the purpose of this video is to encourage you to over-disclose and do the homework up front with your disclosures. Over-disclose, okay? We're not going to use a lot of adjectives. We're going to focus on facts. And the other thing, I know a lot of you are watching this going, oh my gosh, Audra, I got anxiety watching your video. Oh my gosh, now I'm paranoid. Everyone's going to sue me. That's not the purpose of this video. The purpose is to let you know that it's better to know this stuff up front and to avoid it. I know that was a lot of information. Please subscribe to my channel. I'm trying to get this information out to the public, the consumer out there. I don't think they're well represented. I don't think a lot of people know what I just disclosed to you in this video. So please help me get this information out to the masses. I'm trying to help as many people as I can, and I need your help. So thanks for watching this video. I look forward to seeing you in the next one.